evening, race fans, and welcome here to race number 20 of Season 4 of the NNSCRA Duracell Cup Series. Been a little while since we actually had a Duracell Cup Series race here on Sunday. I apologize for that. Things have been crazy this month, but we're now ready to go racing here for maybe the biggest special event outside of the Throne of Games 500 at Darlington this here tonight is going to be the Chili Bowl extravaganza, where you guys will not get 1, 2, 3, or even 4, but 5 races here tonight. A total of 150 laps will be run, but at the end of the night, 4 drivers will have gone to victory lane, potentially locking themselves up spots in the playoffs, and 1 lucky driver will be getting a 50-point bonus. Now, how this is going to happen here tonight, we're going to have 4 30-lap races. These will be regular points races for all of these drivers, intermingling the charter and non-charter drivers. So all of the non-charter drivers will be making a start here tonight, which is going to allow Chris Dollerton his 10th start on the season. So it is now confirmed that once he takes the green flag here, as he is in this first heat race, that Chris Dollerton will be one of the 16 representatives in the chase for the championship later on this year. But you're going to have the intermingling here of the charter and non-charter drivers, so we could end up having our second non-charter driver find victory lane, maybe even our second, third, and fourth, depending on the circumstances in these upcoming heats. Now, those 4 races will take place. There are points on the line, regular points, as there is all season long. The drivers that finish top 5 in their respective 4 heats will make up 20 drivers that will take part in a final 30-lap heat. The winner of that heat will get a 50-point bonus heading into next week at Kentucky. So there's a lot on the line for these drivers here tonight, and it should be a good one under the lights at this 1/5 of a mile short track. Let's see if we can find out the drivers that are in tonight's first heat, as RJ Bishop, dirt track extraordinaire, he'll be lining up on the pole position. Of course, came up second place back at Michigan in both the non-charter and charter race, so he's still looking for his first career NCAA victory. Then you got a former champion alongside of him out of Joanna Atwood Motorsports, that being the 10 of R Acosta. Now, Ryan comes into this race out of 36 charter drivers, 33rd in the point standings. He's only been to in the top 10 twice this season, and only 1 top 5 to his credit. So momentum has not been on his side. Could he make a last-minute effort into getting into the playoffs, trying to become the first 2-time Duracell Cup Series champ? We're going to have to wait and find out. Other drivers that are in tonight's heat, as you can check down in the description below for the starting lineup, but the drivers will be watching this heat also include Cody Llamas, Charles Sandfer, Joshua Osborne, Tyler Gehrdes, Chris Dollerton, Jack Mitchell, Laura Chung, Michael Wayne Robinson, Dylan Young, Nathan Ormond, Cole Deaver, our points leader, Adam Garcia, and Levi McIntire. Let's get the command to fire them up, because we're ready to go racing.
Drivers, start your engines!
Let's give you a quick look at the point standings coming into today's race as well. Adam Garcia, 3 points over Mitchell Collins, 4 over Jordan Lopez, 7 over Jack Mitchell, and 8 over Dylan Young. So the points are really close coming into tonight. Nathan Ormond, former winner, he is 14 points back in 6th. Carson Gum, 19 points back in 7th. And Jose Millz, Jesse Turner, and 2-time winner Cole Deaver, they bring up the top 10, 56 points separating the top 10 in the standings. We'll get to the drivers that are right now hunting for playoff positions, but before we do that, it's time to go racing here tonight. The Chili Bowl, the dirt track under the lights, has a huge part to play as the green flag is in the air, and let's roll. Tyler Gehrdes gave quite a shot to RJ Bishop to start this thing, and now RJ trying to pull away, 3 wide further back. Levi McIntire in the 99. Laura Chung in the 27, taking it 3 wide under R Acosta, who is exiting towards the back quick, and actually got the wall. after contact between himself and the 27. And now he's stuck 3 wide again with Dylan Young and Joshua Osborne. So not the way that the former champion wanted to start his night, as back up towards the front. Second place just changed hands. Chris Dollerton moving on by. Keep an eye on Chris Dollerton here tonight, because when he won the championship back in Season 1, he only had 1 trip to victory lane. That was at a dirt track, Fuel Motorsports Park. So he knows how to get it done at the dirt-covered tracks. Is Michael Wayne Robinson, who's had great numbers since he moved into that KB Racing Enterprises Ford. Now slots into second and sets his sights on RJ Bishop. If you're going to make your moves, you want to make them early. 30 laps seems like a long time, but when you consider the fact that this is only a fifth of a mile long short track, not a whole heck of a lot of time, as Michael Wayne Robinson, look at this, pulls right up to the left rear quarter panel of RJ Bishop, who might have brushed the wall there off of turn 4. And Michael Wayne Robinson is going to go to the point. Levi McIntire just moved into 4th place. Nathan Ormond followed him to 5th. Cole Deaver now falls back into the clutches of Dylan Young. Got a lot of drivers right here in this shot that are making cases for themselves to be in the playoffs. Cole Deaver's 2-time winner. Adam Garcia, 2-time winner. Dylan Young and Nathan Ormond have found victory lane this season as well. As Ormond looks to the inside of Levi McIntire, that is going to be for the 4th position. And he'll take the spot. Chris Dollerton. Oh, caution. Dollerton was putting the challenge in RJ Bishop, but the caution's going to come out for the first time here tonight, and not necessarily certain who it was for. T Gehrdes and L Chung running towards the back here, but I don't see any visible damage to those machines. So as we closed in on the halfway point of this first heat, yellow flag wave. Let's go back and see if we can find out what happened. Looks like this was going into turn 1. Well, actually, no, it was coming out of turn 4. L Chung, second time that she squeezed somebody up into the wall, and this time it came back to bite her as T Gehrdes was to her outside. She had already squeezed Ryan Acosta up into the wall earlier on. Doesn't look like a whole lot of damage sustained there by the 27. Maybe the damage mostly to the right front. Can't really get a good camera shot of the right side of the 69. Bang Energy Dodge to know just how much damage he sustained, but 2-car incident here brings out the yellow for the first time tonight at the Chili Bowl and sets us up for a restart into the second half of this heat. Lights out top the pace car, we're going back green. All 15 drivers that took the green to start this race will continue on. Michael Wayne Robinson, RJ Bishop, Chris Dollerton, Nathan Ormond, and Levi McIntire are going to be the top 5 as we prepare to go back green. And Michael Wayne Robinson gets to go when he wants to. Backs the field up a little bit here. And now accelerates. Whoa. Caution's out again. Think they may have gone a little too slow. Yeah, I think that's what happened. I think that they almost practically stopped towards the rear of the field because Michael Wayne Robinson did not get going. Necessary official's not going to be too pleased about that. The ruling is that you can accelerate whenever you want as long as it is behind that first white line coming off of turn 4, and Robinson kind of waited a little too long. That line right there is the one I'm talking about. And looks like we may have ended up having the caution again. Yeah, see the 69 comes to a stop. They have to keep rolling here. So we got another lap of pacing here. Let's see if they can actually get back green this time. I mean, every lap that we're under caution here, Michael Wayne Robinson doesn't have to defend the race lead. Let's see if we can actually get this thing going here. Keep it at a slow roll. Don't come to a stop. And there we go. Green flag back in the air. And Nathan Ormond was on it. He already got alongside of Chris Dollerton for the 3rd position. And he'll clear for the spot. Now looks to the inside of RJ Bishop for 2nd. There'll be 11 laps to go. when Robinson hits the line, and Ormond has cleared into second place. Now Chris Dollerton looking to capitalize for third. Remember, the top 5 finishers of this heat will be locked into the 5th heat race of the night, if you will, where 20 drivers will battle not for a win, but for 50 bonus points. And Dollerton going to move into second place around Ormond. As those two were battling, it looked like they were slowly closing in on the 93, and yeah, they are. Little by little, they're inching closer. But we'll see if Dollerton, if he can break away from Nathan Ormond, if he's got thoughts about getting up here and taking this race lead, potentially race win, away from the 93. Right now, you've got 3 non-charter drivers up inside of the top 5. The only charter drivers in the top 5 right now are both Joanna Atwood Motorsports Dodges of Nathan Ormond in 3rd and Ryan Acosta, who just now moved into the 4th position, passing RJ Bishop. Interval right now between 1st and 2nd, about 1.2 seconds with 6 laps to go. Michael Wayne Robinson is laying down the faster lap times of the 2 blue ovals. So now it's 5 to go, and interval grew again between himself and Dollerton, so it doesn't look like, unless Michael Wayne Robinson makes a mistake, that he's going to lose this win. Michael Wayne Robinson coming into tonight 5 starts this season, this being his 6th. He would need 4 more starts if he were to win this race for his victory to count towards a playoff spot, and there's still 6 races left in the regular season, so anything is still possible. You cannot count anybody out until the checkered flag waves in the regular season finale, as teammates look like they may settle it out for 3rd place here in the closing stages. Cole Deaver and Levi McIntire might have a battle for 5th, as white flag will be displayed this time. Michael Wayne Robinson looking to be the 2nd non-charter driver to find victory lane here in Season 4 of the Duracell Cup Series. And just 2 more corners to go. What a run here tonight by the Valvoline Ford. Michael Wayne Robinson's going to win heat number 1 at the Chili Bowl. Chris Dollerton will follow in 2nd. Ryan Acosta will be 3rd. Nathan Ormond 4th, and Levi McIntire in 5th. Those drivers will all battle for the 50-point bonus later on tonight. Cole Deaver will finish in 6th, Dylan Young 7th. RJ Bishop, who started on the pole, drifted all the way back to 8th on that final run. Joshua Osborne and points leader Adam Garcia are going to complete the top 10, followed by Laura Chung, Cody Llamas, Jack Mitchell, Charles Sandfer, and Tyler Gehrdes. We really never heard anything out of Llamas, Mitchell, or Sandfer here tonight in this one. All 3 of those drivers very good when it comes to dirt tracks, but might have come down to starting track position, not sure, but certainly not the runs they were looking for here in this first heat race. So Michael Wayne Robinson as our first winner of the night, but we still have 3 more winners to determine as far as points racing, and then we've got to determine who's going to bring home that 50-point bonus in our final heat race. So let's step aside real quickly for a commercial break, and then we'll be right back for heat number 2 here tonight at the Chili Bowl. Heat number 2 getting ready to be run here tonight at the Chili Bowl, as Charles Belding will start on the inside of Zach Rogers. Belding, a former winner. Rogers still looking for his first win on the season. Other drivers in this heat will include Quentin Moore, Tristan Allen, Carson Gum, Seth Cole, Dawson Wise, Ryan Brommer, Kyle Mathews, Dylan Poteet, T Wright, J Millz, Harrison Ponder, 2-time winner Jesse Turner, and S Ozkan. S Ozkan has 7 starts coming into tonight. This would be his 8th, so if he were to find victory lane, he could put himself into a position very much like Chris Dollerton. Green flag out as Dylan Poteet. Oh, caution actually out. We're going to have to line him up and try again, apparently. Apparently they did not get going when they needed to there, so I don't think this is actually going to count as a lap. Not officially started this race. Dylan Poteet was trying to see if he could get his Pigeon Racing teammate Charles Belding out in front and stacked all that inside lineup in the process. Someone must have come to a stop towards the rear of the field. Not sure how this was managed, but you've got all 4 of the Pigeon Racing cars in the field here of this heat, as the green flag officially is now out, and we are racing here in heat number 2, and, well, Poteet was willing to help his teammate before. This time he got a great jump, and he's actually going to look for the race lead on Belding through 3 and 4, and he'll clear for the spot. Dawson Wise trying to make it 2 for 2 in Ford Mustangs winning here tonight, as Michael Wayne Robinson, if you just joined us, took the win in the first heat race. First win of his Duracell Cup Series career. Here comes T Wright and the 28, two-time winner, our defending Daytona 500 winner, and let's not forget, back in Season 1, his very first career win, it came in a dirt track, Lakewood. Track we've never been to again because the racing wasn't all that great, but it was a dirt track nonetheless, and he's got another two-time winner to his driver's left. That is Jesse Turner and the 47, who is going to move around T Wright into the 4th position. Now looks on Dawson Wise for 3rd place. Oh, Dawson got the wall. Almost came down into Jesse Turner. Manages to keep it straight, though, but you got to wonder how that right side damage is going to affect him for the remainder of this one, as Quentin Moore, the highest running of the Toyotas, is now going to move on by him and move into P4. Dylan Poteet is gone, and Charles Belding's got himself a pretty sizable gap back to Jesse Turner, so I guarantee you these two Chevys don't want to see the caution come out. Poteet making his 5th start of the season here tonight. Looking for what would be his first top 5 of the season. And a lot of people forget that Dylan Poteet ran the full first season of Duracell Cup Series and actually was a playoff contender. Now finds himself as a non-charter driver and is looking to gain a charter at some point between this and next season's off season. Charles Belding, former winner this season back at Pukaka Road Course. And I mentioned back in Heat 1 that I would talk about the drivers right now with 7 races remaining that are currently holding down the playoff positions. As things stand right now, you've got Adam Garcia, Mitchell Collins, Jesse Turner, Cole Deaver, and T Wright, two-time winners. They've got the first 5 spots. Then you got Jordan Lopez, Dylan Young, Nathan Ormond, Charles Belding, Ryan Brommer, Levi McIntyre, Keith Batson, not Levi McIntyre, Ryan Butcher, and Patrick Smith. Those drivers right now hold 13 of the 16 playoff spots, as Patrick Smith actually has moved up into the top 30 in points with his victory. So 13 spots taken, 3 spots currently open, and one of them was just filled here tonight when Chris Dollerton started his first heat race, making it his 10th start, so only 2 spots are now available for drivers to point their way in, and I have a feeling here tonight we could very well have 2 more different winners that would fill those spots in heading into Kentucky next week. So it's coming down to the nitty-gritty of where drivers may find victory lane this season, but they may not be able to make their way into the battling for the championship, as right now the 2 Pigeon Racing cars out in front have clean air. The other 2 Pigeon Racing cars are back here. Carson Gum moving into 5th around Harrison Ponder. Seth Cole in the 25 trying to do the same. Carson Gum just moved his way into a transfer spot into that 50-point bonus heat later on tonight. As he slipped up the track there, though. Opens the door for Harrison Ponder, who has a rear deck lid completely full of the 25 of Seth Cole, who now looks to the inside for 6th. Gonna be 10 laps to go. This next time by is Dylan Poteet, looking for, I believe it would be his 2nd career Duracell Cup Series victory if he's able to hold off Charles Belding, who right now runs nearly 2 seconds back. Good run for Quentin Moore, making his 4th start on the year, as he's in the 3rd position. Jesse Turner, 9th in the point stands, 2-time winner, trying to just climb up a little bit higher in the points to make sure he's absolutely going to be a playoff contender. And teammates just exchanged 5th place. Seth Cole getting by Carson Gum. That's the final transfer spot that just exchanged hands. And now Harrison Ponder getting to the inside of Carson Gum, whose car does not look good right now. That car looks rather unstable, does the 19. And now Harrison Ponder going to try and see if he can move into a transfer spot, trying to get up there around Seth Cole to move into 5th place. These two are actually starting to reel in Jesse Turner, it looks like, as well. So Turner may not be out of the woods yet. depending on what happens in these final 5.5 laps. Now 5 laps as Dylan Poteet comes around. So far, we have gone green flag racing here for the 26 laps of this heat, and we may very well end this 30-lapper under green flag conditions. Took us a little bit of a slow start there. We had to put an extra lap on there for starting this race, but once we got going, these drivers have done a great job of keeping it clean and green, if you can use the word clean at a dirt track. 3 laps to go now for Dylan Poteet as he hits the start-finish line. We'll drop back to the battle for the 5th spot again between Seth Cole and Harrison Ponder. 50 bonus points could be on the line for these two respective drivers, even though both of them are non-charter machines, but 50 points can certainly gain you a couple of spots in the point standings of drivers that may have a couple more starts than you do. And oh my goodness, talk about K Mathews shooting out of a cannon. He's going to blow by Carson Gum up into the 7th spot as the white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Dylan Poteet. Unlikely that Dylan could make enough starts here for a playoff position, but he just crossed the line to take the checkered flag for his 2nd career Duracell Cup Series victory and 1st on the season. It's a Pigeon Racing 1-2 finish here tonight with Belding in 2nd. Quentin Moore will bring it home 3rd. 4th for Jesse Turner, and Seth Cole will get the final transfer spot into the 50-point bonus heat race later on tonight as he held off Harrison Ponder in the closing stages. So 3 of the Pigeon Racing cars will be in that 30-lap, 50-point not main event, but heat race later on this evening, joined by the Toyota of Quentin Moore and the Ford of Jesse Turner. Harrison Ponder brought it home 6th, K Mathews in 7th. Carson Gum will be 8th. 9th place is where we will find Trey Wright. Dawson Wise will finish in 10th. And then S Ozkan back in 11th. Zach Rogers faded from the outside of the front row to finish 12th. J Millz, not the run that he was looking for, as both he and Carson Gum were looking to either point or win their way into the playoffs, as both of them top 10 in points, 7th and 8th respectively. They did not have the runs they were looking for here tonight. Ryan Brommer, former winner, will finish in 14th, and Tristan Allen, way back there, finishing in the 15th position. Didn't really see much out of him, the DCW Racing entry here tonight. So, heat number 2 is in the books, and so far, the non-charter drivers are rising to the top. Michael Wayne Robinson and Dylan Poteet so far have found victory lane for the first time this season. Can the non-charter drivers make it a perfect 3 for 3? We'll find out in just a moment. Heat number 3 comes up here right after this commercial break. Heat number 3 set to be run here tonight at the Chili Bowl, as it'll be an all-Ford front row. Justin Dearborn looking for his first career Duracell Cup Series victory alongside of the defending champion of the series, Jordan Lopez, who comes into this race 4 points out of the points lead, 3rd in the standings. Other drivers that will be in this respective heat include Rob Evans, Michael Norman, Austin LaPlante, we're going to be talking about him in just a few moments, Josh Torres, Phil Parker, Will Goss, James Qualls, Brad Stover, Mitchell Collins, 2nd in the points, is also in this field with Jessica Shelton, Dylan Schwallenberg, Jacob Thibodeau, Matt Haas, and Keith Batson in this field. This might be the most competitive field here tonight in terms of the different drivers we currently have in here. In here, we've got Austin LaPlante and Jacob Thibodeau, who were the 2 former winners from the Chili Bowl last season when the Chili Bowl was run in 2 separate heats. As we got some moving and shaking back here around 4th place, Thibodeau, Phil Parker, Matt Haas, and Jordan Lopez all exchanging some sheet metal. You've also got the only other driver this season that's taken a checkered flag at a dirt track, that being Keith Batson, who won back at Springfield. And then Mitchell Collins, he's 2nd in the points, 3 points back. Jordan Lopez, 3rd in points, 4 points back. Both of these drivers could capitalize on the somewhat mediocre run that Adam Garcia had earlier on tonight and maybe take the points lead into Kentucky next week. Rob Evans going to move on by Matt Haas. That is for 3rd. Jessica Shelton following in tow. Boy, Jessica Shelton, imagine if she were able to pick up a checkered flag here tonight. Currently running 35th in the point standings. Next to last of the drivers that have charters, only to her teammate Kyle Mathews. And if she could pick up a win at this late a stage, might be able to get herself up in the top 30 and snipe away a playoff position. But Dearborn continues to show the way. He's not been able to really pull away, though, from 2nd place battling. as it's only about maybe, a car length and a half from Dearborn now back to the Kana-Chan Chevrolet of Jessica Shelton. Josh Torres, non-charter driver, moves around Austin LaPlante for third, and now Rob Evans looks for fourth. Dylan Schwallenberg right there as well, trying to knock on the door of a top five. Remember, top five drivers will transfer into the fifth heat, where there will be no victory on the line in terms of a win and you're in playoff spot, but there will be 50 points awarded to the race winner. Doesn't matter if they're a chartered driver or a non-chartered driver. They will get 50 bonus points heading into Kentucky next week. As Rob Evans putting the pressure on Jessica Shelton for second place. Austin LaPlante, who was stuck up on the outside line and had fallen all the way back to sixth, he's now gotten back to the inside and has fought his way back up again to the fourth position, now looking for third. And there is second in the points, Mitchell Collins, trying to take the points lead away from his Young Motorsports teammate, Adam Garcia, was -3 coming in, and right now running in the seventh position. As Will Goss and Michael Norman, Toyota versus Ford, they're going to settle it out for eighth. Phil Parker now cracking the top 10. That's another driver that's very well known on the dirt track circuits. Phil Parker still looking for his first career victory, and I do want to actually go back to last week. I made a mistake in the calling of the finish of that race. I said that Patrick Smith had picked up his second win of his career. That was incorrect information. I was actually thinking back to when the 77 went to victory lane in Season 2 with Casey Nanico behind the wheel, and for some reason I remembered that as Patrick Smith being in the 77 that year. That was wrong. Last week actually, was Patrick Smith's first career victory, so congratulations to him on that. Schwallenberg going to get around Justin Dearborn, and that is for the race lead. Boy, Dylan Schwallenberg cut his way up through the field and now has himself out in the race lead. Shelton's going to get around Dearborn for second. So just like that, in the matter of a couple corners, Dearborn falls from race lead back to the final spot on the podium. And he may be losing that as Josh Torres and Austin LaPlante are starting to reel him in. Now they're actually going to battle for fourth. Dylan Schwallenberg coming into tonight had 5 starts this season. Still searching for his first win, top 5, and top 10 of his Duracell Cup Series career. And right now leads by half a second over Jessica Shelton. We've had a Ford go to victory lane tonight in the first heat with Michael Wayne Robinson. A Chevy go to victory lane in the second heat with Dylan Poteet. Could Toyota be going 3 for 3 in different manufacturers winning the heat races here tonight? And LaPlante now is starting to make a charge. Trying to remember last year which one of the Northeast Motorsports cars won which respective heat. I know LaPlante and Jacob Thibodeau were the 2 race winners. I think that LaPlante was the winner of Heat 1 and Thibodeau was the winner of Heat 2, but I don't, right off the top of my head, remember exactly if that was the case or not. As this battle for second place between 2 Chevrolets is allowing Dylan Schwallenberg to continue to grow his lead. That last time by, he gained a 10th. He's just got the option of picking whatever line he wants going into the corner. These drivers that are side by side don't have that luxury, since if they tried that, they probably would make contact and possibly take themselves out of this race. Austin LaPlante in the 48, 31st in the point standings coming into this race, and so far winless this season. Certainly you got to think that the Ally Banking Chevrolet team had the Chili Bowl racetrack circled on their calendar as a place that they could possibly be able to pick up yet another victory, but time is not on their side right now. They've moved up to second, but they've got over a second to make up on Dylan Schwallenberg, who just hit the line for 3 laps to go. DCW Racing is still yet to win a Duracell Cup Series race this season. They've only got 1 full-time chartered driver in Cole Baker, who we will see in the upcoming 4th heat. But it looks like a non-charter driver in Dylan Schwallenberg will be picking up the first win for the team and first win of his Duracell Cup Series career. As you just saw, the white flag was displayed in the air. Before we came into tonight, only 1 non-chartered driver had won a chartered race. That was Chris Dollerton. Dylan Schwallenberg becomes the 4th non-charter driver now to win in a Duracell Cup Series event. The other 2 have taken place here tonight with Michael Wayne Robinson and Dylan Poteet. And Dylan Schwallenberg Miracles can happen. We've still got 6 races after this one is completed. This is his 6th start. Can he make 4 more before the conclusion of the regular season and potentially be in a playoff spot along with Chris Dollerton? Miracles can happen. Stranger things have happened here in the Duracell Cup Series, and I'm not putting that outside the realm of the possibility until we eventually get to the regular season finale. Austin LaPlante, good numbers here at the Chili Bowl. A win last season, a second place here tonight. Jessica Shelton, they're in third. I mean, neither did these drivers win, but they certainly got their momentum back as they've been struggling outside the top 30 in points. This could certainly help them in their quest to at least get back up into the top 30 in the point standings in case in the next 6 races they are able to find victory lane. Josh Torres will bring it home 4th, and Justin Dearborn will be the final transfer driver here in this heat as the pole sitter is going to finish in the 5th position. We kind of saw Mitchell Collins fade back late. He's going to finish in 8th, so I don't remember exactly where Garcia finished in his heat. Whether or not Collins will be able to take the points lead or not. Jordan Lopez also had a shot of taking the points lead, but he dropped back to 10th place. And then a couple of guys that started up near the front actually faded to the back, never made their way back up to the front. Matt Haas started up inside of the top 5, I do believe. He finishes 13th, and J Qualls, who started 3rd, faded all the way back to 14th. Never made his way back up into the top 10. But that is going to do it here for the 3rd heat. We still got one more point-paying heat as far as a win-and-you're-in situation, possibly. And then we've got that 50 bonus point heat to cap off what's already been an exciting night here at the Chili Bowl. So far, non-charter drivers have gone a perfect 3 for 3 in going to victory lane. Can they sweep it here tonight at the Chili Bowl? We'll find out as we're going to take one more commercial break, and then we'll be back here for heat number 4. Welcome back here to the Chili Bowl as we get ready for our 4th heat of the night. It's the final opportunity for a driver to maybe win their way a spot into the playoffs. And we just saw Dylan Schwallenberg win the 3rd heat. His team owner, Cole Baker in the 11, will be leading us to green over William Brock. Other drivers in this heat include Daniel Voiles, Ryan Butcher, Vince Almriego, Patrick Smith, Johnny Gardner, Matthew Rodriguez, Arthur Xavier, Michael Rude, Adam Samsel, Natan Omiedo, Benny Watson, Zachary Stultz, Carter Friesen, and Pedro Lucas. This is going to be an interesting heat as we get underway because of the fact that nobody inside the top 10 in the point standings is in this heat. You got to go all the way down to Benny Watson, 11th in the standings, to find a driver that's in this 4th and final race win you're in heat. And Pedro Lucas takes a peek to the inside of Cole Baker, can't quite get there. His teammate Natan Omiedo making some moves back there as well for 4th on William Brock. Oh, Johnny Gardner up the track into the wall. He collected up last week's winner, Patrick Smith. Caution is going to fly. Pace car rushing, literally, lightning speed to get up there and pick up the, pick up the field. Look at that. See that car drifting through the corner? Why isn't the pace car out there trying to win a race? Caution's going to fly. Johnny Gardner from the 3rd position gets out of shape. That's Patrick Smith. You can't see him back there behind the Lucas Oil Racing TV signs. But he's coming down pit road. Tough break there for a driver who last week not only went to victory lane, but also moved his way up into the top 30 in the point standings. 30th in points, right on that cut line. And if he suffers a DNF here tonight, he very well might not be in the top 30 after we finish out the events here tonight at the Chili Bowl. Let's go back and see what happened. This started at the 3rd position with Johnny Gardner. Car's just going to flat out lose grip going into the corner. Watch right there. Back end steps out and it never corrects itself. Just continues to slide up towards the outside wall. And unfortunately for Patrick Smith, he was 3 wide back there with his teammate Ryan Butcher. So he was committed to the top line. And when Gardner's back end kind of kicked out and came back down into traffic, there was nowhere for the number 77 to be able to go. So pretty extensive damage to the right front on Patrick Smith. Damage, of course, there to the back end of the Hunt Brothers Pizza Dodge of Johnny Gardner. Both those drivers have come down pit road, made repairs. We'll see if they're going to be able to continue or not. Waiting for the pace car to give us the 1 to green signal, which shouldn't be too long, considering how small this short track is. One driver is out of the race. It's the 77 of Patrick Smith. So 1 week after the elation of finding victory lane, he is going to be finishing 15th here in this heat. And more than likely, is going to possibly fall outside the top 30 in the points because a lot of drivers had some pretty decent runs here tonight that were behind him in the standings. Austin LaPlante was 31st in points, and he finished second in that third heat just moments ago. So no doubt he will be jumping back up into the top 30, knocking Patrick Smith back below the cut line. And Johnny Gardner is currently trapped one lap down. Gardner came into this race 21st in the point standings, only one top 5 so far this season. 3 top 10s, and looks like he will be not suffering a DNF, but it'll be very unlikely that 14 will be back in the lead lap, so he's going to have to hope that some other incidents occur here in this 4th heat, that he can maybe pick up a couple of spots and thusly a couple of points. As Cole Baker is going to be the one to get us back underway. Then he's got No Limits Racing teammates behind him in Pedro Lucas and Nathan Amiedo. Vince Almriego is going to line up in 4th, and William Brock right now will restart in the 5th position. Benny Watson, Michael Rood, Zach Stoltz, Ryan Butcher, and Arthur Xavier. They're going to complete the top 10. Looking to see as far as drivers here that if they were to win tonight, maybe could make enough starts here between now and the regular season finale to be able to clinch themselves a playoff spot in regards to the non-charter drivers. And right now, you got Arthur Xavier and Nathan Amiedo. They're making their 6th starts of the season, so they've got a possibility. Same for Zach Stoltz. He's making his 6th start of the season as well. So those might be the guys to look at if they do find victory lane here tonight in this 4th heat. And it looks like we actually are going to do another lap of pacing, much like what we saw happen back in the 2nd heat, but that's all right. We know eventually they'll get back green, and I think a big issue right there was they had the lap machine of Johnny Gardner, who does have to line up on the inside line. Everybody trying to figure out where the 14 was going to be. Now that he is right alongside of Cole Baker, we should be able to get things going here. And this is going to be interesting for Cole Baker, because with having a car immediately starting to his inside, is he going to be able to get ahead of Johnny Gardner, or could Johnny Gardner be an X factor here and Cole Baker possibly lose the race lead? As we are going to get green flag race. I wasn't sure. It looked like they were going to come to a possible stop again. And Gardner forces Baker up the track. Pedro Lucas is going to force his nose in there, trying to take the spot. Gardner just forced Cole Baker to pit road. Gardner just pushed Cole Baker into pit lane, losing Cole Baker the race lead. And now Pedro Lucas getting a bit of a Christmas present there. He's going to go to the front. I don't think I've ever seen that before in my life. Johnny Gardner was coming to pit road, purposely coming to pit road. Cole Baker had the misfortune of being on the outside of the 14. As got cars up in the wall. William Brock and Vince Almriego have gotten together. They keep it straight, though. We still remain green, but Cole Baker just got escorted to pit lane, where he obviously did not want to go. And now Gardner's coming back out on the racetrack in front of a 4th place battle. 4 wide. Gardner gets put up into the wall again. No caution. William Brock and Benny Watson were not going to let that stand. They put Gardner up into the fence. There's a lot of metal being exchanged here in this 4th heat, as Pedro Lucas out in front. He's making his 5th start of the season. He has a top 5 in Duracell Cup Series charter competition. But now he's looking for a victory. His teammate is running about 1.2 seconds behind him. Ryan Butcher now up to 3rd. 4th is Michael Rood, and now the battle for the final transfer spot into our 5th and final heat later on, going on between Adam Samsel and the KB Racing Enterprises Ford of Daniel Voiles. And here comes Benny Watson now getting around Zach Stoltz. He's going to move into the 6th position. So far, it's been a Ford, a Chevy, and a Toyota that have won here tonight. Dodge is yet to find victory lane here in the Chili Bowl. Their highest entry right now, 8th place running Zach Stoltz. Ford looks like they could possibly pick up 2 victories here tonight, because they are right now running 1st and 2nd. You got a Toyota back in 3rd, a Toyota in 4th, and a Toyota in 5th. So it's all Mustangs and Camrys completing your top 5. Is Ryan Butcher running a little wide there. Oh, did we have contact? I heard someone in the wall. Yes, Arthur Xavier's been put in the wall, and the caution is out. And I think Johnny Gardner got collected up in this one. It has not been a good night here at the Chili Bowl for the 14 machine. And Arthur Xavier, making his 6th start of the season, 1 top 10 so far this year in charter competition. The Northeast Motorsports Chevrolet going to bring out this yellow flag, closing in on the end of this race. When the leader hit the line, there was 8 laps to go. So we will get ourselves, looks like a bit of a shootout here tonight in the 4th heat race. And Pedro Lucas, I guarantee you, did not want to see that caution come out. Let's go back and see what happened between the 24 and the 14. Arthur Xavier was battling with Carter Freeze, and I believe that was for 9th place. And he just overstepped the cushion. Car comes around on him, and Johnny Gardner, well, a perfect, 3 for 3 now and getting involved in incidents, 2 of which brought out a caution, and 1 of which didn't bring out a yellow. So tough break there for Arthur Xavier. That drops him back towards the tail end of the field. And we'll see if he can pick up any spots late, as he's got pretty good damage not only to the back end, but also the front end of that hurt Chevrolet. Let's go back to green, see how many laps they're going to have for potentially the final restart of this 4th heat. Still waiting for the 1 to green signal. Let's follow up some of the fallout from what happened under that last green flag run. Cole Baker is now 2 laps down after starting this race from the pole and leading at the time. Johnny Gardner is now 4 laps down. Arthur Xavier did not even come to pit road to get damage repaired. He'll restart last car in the lead lap back in the 12th position. As it'll be Pedro Lucas, Natan Amiedo, Ryan Butcher, Michael Rood, and Adam Samsel. That's your top 5. They currently hold those transfer spots to make it into our 5th and final heat, where 50 bonus points will be paid out to the winner. Daniel Voiles, Zach Stoltz, Benny Watson, Carter Friesen, and Vince Almeriego. They're the top 10 knocking on the door for one of those transfer spots, which looks like it will be a 3-lap shootout to finish it out here in the 4th heat race of the Chili Bowl. So far, non-charter drivers have gone a perfect 3 for 3, and non-charter machines run 1-2 for this restart. They actually hold 4 of the top 5 positions here for this restart, so it may be all non-charter drivers here tonight, and that was a big reason why the festivities here at the Chili Bowl were put together as so that way non-charter drivers had a chance to possibly find victory lane for their first career chartered victory. And we may end up being able to see that happen 4 times here tonight. But Ryan Butcher, what a restart. He's going to jump to the inside of Pedro Lucas with 2 laps to go. Butcher is a former winner this season. He's trying to become another multi-time winner along with the likes of Garcia and Collins and Turner and Deaver and Trey Wright. And white flags in the air, the Gatorade Toyota is out in front. What a move on that final restart by Ryan Butcher. As through 3 and 4, Butcher is going to be the first chartered driver to win tonight. He captures his 2nd win of the season. And Ryan Butcher has just now solidified himself a spot in the playoffs if he didn't have one already. And that means it's going to be back-to-back weeks that an Auto Junction Racing Toyota is going to win, with Patrick Smith winning last week and Ryan Butcher winning one of the heat races here tonight. What a move there on the final 3 laps by Ryan Butcher to get around both the No Limits Racing Fords, pick up his 2nd win of the season, and he will advance into the 5th and final 50 bonus points heat in mere moments, along with Pedro Lucas. Adam Samson, Michael Rood, and Natan Amiedo are going to be the 5 that will transfer. So the 5 that restarted 1st through 5th will be the 5 that transfer. Stoltz, Voiles, Friesen, Watson, and Almeriego completing the top 10, with William Brock and his teammate Arthur Xavier, the last cars finished on the lead lap. Baker 2 laps down, Gardner 4 laps down, and Patrick Smith didn't even make it to the conclusion of this race. So kind of the highs and the lows here in this 4th heat for Auto Junction Racing. They kind of bookend the field, with Butcher winning and Smith, the only DNF, finishing last in this heat. So 3 non-charter drivers pick up victories. For 2 of them, it's their first career victories in Michael Wayne Robinson and Dylan Schwallenberg. Dylan Poteet goes to victory lane for the first time since season 1, and Ryan Butcher now clinches himself a playoff position with his 2nd victory on the season, winning here tonight in the 4th heat. We've got 1 more heat to go. The top 5 finishers from these 4 heats will make up a 20-car field for 30 laps of racing, where there will be no winner, but there will be a driver that will take 50 bonus points into next week's race at Kentucky. Don't go anywhere. That fifth and final heat is coming up right after this. Field rolls off for the bonus race where only one driver will get 50 bonus points heading into Kentucky next week. Our race winners from the four respective heats will start first, second, third, and fourth. Second place drivers will start fifth on back through eighth. Then third, fourth, and fifth will line up accordingly as well. Michael Wayne Robinson and Dylan Schwallenberg got their first career wins tonight. Dylan Poteet his first win since Season 1, and Ryan Butcher his first win since Race 3 this year back at Las Vegas. Green flag is out. It's 30 laps of racing. This is where the aggressiveness is going to kick up because the only thing that's on the line is 50 bonus points for the race winner. And Robinson trying to clear on the top side against Schwallenberg. Can't do it. Here comes Chris Dollerton in the 83. Dollerton finished second back in Heat 1. And they're four wide back here. Here we go. Poteet gets put up into the wall. Off the nose of Ryan Butcher, who was four wide with Ryan Acosta and Jessica Shelton. Caution is going to fly. Caution will come out for the Dylan Poteet spin. And as I said, there's nothing on the line but winning this race and getting those 50 bonus points. So race like it's the last lap every lap. Why not? And that's the first time we've seen four wide here tonight, because these drivers are in the devil may care attitude. Let's go back and see what happened to Poteet. Let's take a look at that four wide again. Here it was, Shelton, Acosta, Butcher, and Poteet. Poteet, unfortunately for him, was the car on the outside, and usually that's the driver closest to the wall. So if any impact's going to be made, it's going to be that outside line machine, and he might have gotten a piece of the right front of Jesse Turner. I think he did. So we'll see how that affects Turner for the rest of this race, as Turner was at the rear of the field battling around the 18th position. But Dylan Poteet, after picking up a checkered flag just not too long ago, finds himself the first caution here of the 50-point bonus race here tonight at the Chili Bowl. We're moments away from getting the 1 to green signal, and I was just thinking back here for all of these non-charter drivers. I mean, what would 50 points do for them? Like, obviously, these drivers right now, their goal is to make 10 starts. If they've got a victory, it would put them into the playoffs. But 50 bonus points, don't really think it's going to make head nor tails for them. So I think maybe it's just a chance to be able to win another race here tonight, even though it won't count towards an actual points-paying win. But you look at a guy back there like Austin LaPlante. LaPlante's 29th in the points standings. He's yet to go to victory lane. But if he picks up 50 points, he could end up moving himself up through the point standings for sure. And if he gets a win between now and next week, or not next week, back at the regular season finale at Auto Club, that would leapfrog him over a couple of other one-time winners, like maybe Patrick Smith and Keith Batts, and have him in the running if we have some more first-time winners in the next 6 races to be able to clinch himself a playoff position. So, honestly, I'm not really sure what the 50 bonus points would do for non-chartered drivers, but Michael Wayne Robinson picked up his first career win just not too long ago, as did Dylan Schwallenberg, and they want to take another checkered flag here tonight at the Chili Bowl. As the green flag back in the air. We're back underway here, and Michael Wayne Robinson got himself a very decent jump. Going to leave Dylan Schwallenberg to battle for second place potentially with the 48 of Austin LaPlante. I'm not really sure why in that portion of the area now we're all of a sudden having some frame issues. We weren't having any frame issues all night long, so apologies for that. Let's actually see if maybe swap it to a different camera angle might help the situation. Yeah, actually, I think it will. No, it won't. Now it causes the issue over in 1 and 2. I have to do some fluctuating of camera angles here, potentially, as the battle is going to be for third place. Jessica Shelton looking at the inside of Austin LaPlante, and ooh, now we're hitting some bad frame issues there. Well, let's hope at least it's happening in the 50 bonus point heat race. But I don't understand why it's happening all of a sudden. As Shelton's another driver, much like LaPlante, 50 bonus points could really help her out, as she's 35th in the standings. She is, right now, 30 points behind 30th in the standings, so this would move her into the top 30 if she were to win. And here comes Charles Belding in the 91, making a charge to the inside of Ryan Butcher, one of our winners tonight. Belding now going to go for 4th place on Austin LaPlante as we're halfway through this heat. Michael Wayne Robinson has pulled ahead, with Michael Wayne Robinson winning earlier on tonight in his first career win. It was the 2nd win of the season for KB Racing Enterprises and 2nd win they've had this season at a dirt track. His team owner driver Keith Batson got his first win of the season back at Springfield, the dirt-covered mile track. About 1.1 seconds between Michael Wayne Robinson and Dylan Schwallenberg, and then about 2 car lengths, 1.5 car lengths back to Shelton, other 1.5 car lengths back to Belding. These drivers right now, oh, we got a car up in the wall there. Caution, I believe, is going to come out. I couldn't tell who that was, though. Maybe Levi McIntire, but I'm not certain. It was a green car. And the yellow flag is going to fly for the 2nd time tonight, giving us a restart with what will be less than 10 to go. And the car that I saw was Nathan Ormond, the Holiday Inn Dodge. That car was pointed up against the outside wall. I don't know if anybody got into him. I'm looking back here at the tail end of the field. There's Dylan Poteet, who was involved in the first caution. I don't really see anybody else with front-end damage, and Ormond's actually going to return back to the racetrack. So caution out for the 2nd time here tonight. And remember what happened when we had a late race restart back in the 4th heat? Ryan Butcher went from 3rd to 1st. Could somebody back there, 3rd, 4th, 5th, be able to make a late race charge here, depending on how many laps we have for potentially the final restart of the entire evening? Let's go back and see what happened to Nathan Ormond for the 2nd caution here of heat race number 5. No contact between another driver and the 54. You just see right there, he turned the wheel to the right before they even got to the corner, and when he turned it to the left, it was too far left. Almost made some contact with the right side of Ryan Acosta's Dodge, but single car incident there for Nathan Ormond. I'm not necessarily certain that he didn't get that car stuck in the outside wall. Let's see if he actually drives away from the incident or has to teleport back to pit road. I think that maybe, just maybe, he got it caught up there in that advertising canvas that goes along the outside of the racetrack, on the outside wall there, where the Toyota logos are, and I think maybe he couldn't drive away. That's probably why he returned back out to the racetrack as soon as he did, probably called a tow, as he couldn't get the car refired. It actually was stuck up there in the advertising signage. So Nathan Ormond brings out our 2nd caution here of the 50-point bonus race, if you will. Sets us up for a restart with less than 10 to go, but let's find out just how many laps these drivers are going to have to work with. Waiting for the lights to go out top the pace car to go back green. Now, this is just a bonus point race, so the point standings were actually put together after the conclusion of the 4th and final race win heat, if you will. And nothing changed in the top 10. No positions changed whatsoever. But the points have certainly closed up. Adam Garcia still the points leader, 1 point over Mitchell Collins, 4 over Jordan Lopez, 5 over Dylan Young, and 8 over Nathan Ormond. Now the good news for Ormond is this was just a bonus point race, so he isn't going to lose any points here in this heat race, but can you believe that? 8 points separating the top 5 heading to Kentucky next week. Jack Mitchell's actually only 10 points back in 6th. Carson Gumbs 17 points back in 7th. So less than 20 points separate the top 7 going into Kentucky. And remember, these drivers are all fighting for the regular season championship, where the regular season champion gets himself 15 bonus points towards the playoffs. Green flag back in the air. It's going to be 5-lap shootout here tonight at the Chili Bowl as Michael Wayne Robinson shows the way over to battle for 2nd between Dylan Schwallenberg and Jessica Shelton. Actually, it was a 6-lap shootout. I apologize. It is now 5 laps to go. Shelton moving into 2nd place. Let's see if she can run down Michael Wayne Robinson. Don't forget, Robinson won earlier on tonight, so it's the same race car, and he's proving the dominance again that 93 had all the way back in Heat 1. Schwallenberg crosses over Shelton now for 2nd place, so that could be the race win over and done with, and Michael Wayne Robinson might be not only picking up his first career win, but 50 bonus points here tonight as well, as he'll be coming around this next time by, and the flagman will be showing him not the peace sign, but the indication of 2 laps to go. Ryan Butcher making a late charge here. He did it back in Heat 4 to be able to pick up the victory. And he'll take fourth position away from Charles Belding as off the final corner, white flag is in the air. 1 lap to go for Michael Wayne Robinson. Robinson, now 38th in the point standings, second highest of the non-charter drivers after his victory tonight. And he'll win 50 more bonus points here as he'll win the final heat this evening at the Chili Bowl. It's his second checkered flag he'll pick up here tonight. But this one will not count towards a points-paying win, as the one he picked up back in Heat 1 did. We'll show the finishing results, though it really doesn't matter. The only driver that mattered here in this final heat was the race winner, and Michael Wayne Robinson, with those 50 bonus points, I think, is actually now going to leapfrog Chris Dollerton as the highest running of the non-charter drivers in the point standings. 37th. He was only 27 points behind Chris Dollerton in the standings coming into, finishing tonight's festivities after the conclusion of heat number 4. So what a night here at the Chili Bowl. We knew it was going to be an extravaganza and was certainly going to play its part potentially into who could make the playoffs, who might not make the playoffs, with 6 races remaining. Last year, we only had 2 heat races where only charter drivers took part. This year, we ended up having all charter and non-charter drivers take part in 4 heats, and we had 2 drivers go to victory lane for their first career Duracell Cup Series victories in Robinson and Schwallenberg. 1 driver pick up a win in what's been a long winless streak in Dylan Poteet, his last one all the way back to season 1. And Ryan Butcher clinched himself a playoff spot, along being a multi-time winner, along with drivers like Adam Garcia, Mitchell Collins, Jesse Turner, Cole Deaver, and T Wright, as he picked up his second win of the season here tonight in heat number 4. Michael Wayne Robinson not only secures his first career checkered flag in a chartered race, but also 50 bonus points as well. And watch out for Michael Wayne Robinson with that momentum as well, because if he makes 4 more starts in chartered races this season, the win he picked up tonight clinches him a spot in the playoffs, much like Chris Dollerton was able to do with his 10th start of the season here this evening. Thank you all for tuning in to tonight's race here from the Chili Bowl. These races, I should say. If you enjoyed them, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe, and become part of the crew today. We showed you your full finishing results from each one of your respective heats. These are the point standings, the fallout from tonight's races here at the Chili Bowl, heading into next week when we go to the Bluegrass State Kentucky Speedway for race 21. 6 races left until we find out those 16 drivers that will battle for the championship in the playoffs. Thanks for tuning in to tonight's event, and we will see you guys next week as you've been watching a production of NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.